Professionals.
Hey everybody, it's the Dynamite Show. Paul Fontaine, Jeff Hawkins. I don't think we need to go with the Font and Hawk anymore. I think he's pretty much back to Adam Copeland now, with just the odd Cope reference thrown in.
No. Commentary was saying Cope all match.
Okay.
I have Riccaboni saying Cope in my living rent free in my head right now.
Well, the reason I say that is because I'll explain this, but what the hell? Oh, here we go. Hang on. So tonight,
this setup better be good because
it's good. It's
okay,
good.
Go ahead.
So today was my mother-in-law's 80th birthday, as I told you in instant message, and our DM. They're not called instant message anymore. Dynamite was fired tonight. All right, I'll add that to the pile of opinions. So I had a house was full of people. I had 2 of my 4 grandkids here. My oldest daughter and her husband and their family, which is 2 grandkids, are in Arizona actually right now. I think they're in line for Double or Nothing tickets. No, they're at Great Wolf Lodge, wherever that is there.
Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah, so
it's basically a family water park for it's families. It's
Oh, I know what it is.
Okay, never mind.
I just don't know where it is. I know it's in Arizona. Do you know where in there? Like, is it close to Phoenix or like, I don't know.
I think it's like Mesa.
Okay. So that's where they are. And they're coming back Friday, and then they're going to be coming to our house and watching Emily while my wife and I go to Nevada for 4 days. So it's busy, and people running around, the house full of people. We had supper. I had to make it. I had to spend time with them, blah, 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 blah. So I ended up being late getting started watching Dynamite. Plus I had grandkids running in and out of the room. I had Emily I had to look after. My wife had to leave at one point to drive her mom home. It was hectic as hell in here tonight. So I watched the show. I was not able to take notes today. Plus, I'm pretty sure while I was watching it at a couple different times, I may have drifted off on my couch. So I used good old ChatGPT to write me a summary of what happened on AEW Dynamite tonight. And then I read it, and it seemed kind of dry. So I asked it for a few more words along with fan and reporter opinions of everything that happened. So tonight might be a very interesting recap show.
No, don't do this to me.
And the reason I say this is because according to their recap, it was Adam Copeland all the way. So I guess they weren't listening to Ian Riccaboni, as neither was I. I don't know why Nigel McGuinness wasn't there. I was so happy to hear JR in the main event. I'm glad to hear he'll be there on Saturday. I bring back Nigel, please. I didn't vote for him in the Commentator of the Year award, but he must be pretty good because I didn't like the commentary tonight.
I'm not a Riccaboni guy, but
he's fine for Ring of Honor. But I don't need him on national live television. Anyway.
Paul,
yes.
The best piece of professional wrestling booking this week was the what they call the hockey tournament. It was the USA versus
the Four
Canada.
Nations face-off. Oh my God.
4 Nations face-off where you had 3 fights in the first 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Whoever booked that.
Who booked that was Keith Kachuk, I believe.
That's I believe it might have been planned. Don't.
It was. They had a group text. I'm in Canada, so we get all the insider details. They had a group text among the 6 guys. Now they hate each other and they wanted to fight.
That's cool.
They planned this.
No, that's good. They should be hired for AEW.
Yes,
because it captured the audience. And this is how new hockey fans are made, because when guys who don't grow up in hockey areas hear about hockey, they just want to see goals and fights. Mm-hmm. All right. And so for a casual audience, it was brilliant marketing.
Oh, yeah.
Now, let's go to Grand Slam.
Okay. Before we go to Grand Slam, I just want to tell you, to prove your point, US's first game had 1.5 million viewers.
Okay.
When the USA-Canada game started, at the start of the show, they had 2.2 million. Those 3 fights happened. By the end of that game, the audience averaged 4.5 million.
Yes.
Canada and US are rematching tomorrow night.
Oh, it's going to make billions for people. I don't know.
They're predicting possibly 10 million in Canada, which is the equivalent of 90 million in the US. Now, they're not going to get 90 million in the US, but they might get 10. So anyway, sorry, on to Grand Slam.
Now, Grand Slam, following the All-Star festivities, and not immediately following the All-Star festivities, we had a couple of cutbacks to commentary, et cetera, before we threw it to Grand Slam. But nevertheless, here's a lesson in marketing for AEW. What did we lead off with? We led off with the Dream Team versus Omega
and Ospreay
family. Yeah. Sure. Here's something. This is where Tony's wrestle brain doesn't meet casual brain, because he's thinking, you know what's really going to keep them in the seats? It's a well-worked classic from 4 wrestlers who know how to do great choreography. What should have led off this show, because they were just looking to pop the number.
Mm-hmm.
That Big Bill Hobbs match would have kept a lot more people, I think, watching Grand Slam. 2 big dudes, jacked up dudes. What people think of wrestling is 2 jacked up dudes beating the crap out of each other. And I think that would, but before anybody jumps down my throat about me complaining that Omega and Ospreay let off, they didn't. And that's also part of the problem, because if you're thinking, I'm leading off this show with our 2 biggest stars, who got introed first? It was the Callis family. It was the Callis family. And then 5 to 7 minutes later, we start getting Ospreay and Omega's entrances. By the time these 2 got out there, this show had already been on for 6 or 7 minutes.
I think we were joined in progress, because I think the first thing I saw was Omega.
Okay. So, I don't. Okay, maybe I wasn't, but on
where did
TNT,
you watch on Max or you
no?
I
watched live on the televised version.
So I watched on USA Network in Canada, and we didn't have the All-Star game ahead of time. So, like, I don't know why they didn't just air it at 9:30. The thing was taped, but they literally, like, I taped the show at 9:30, and I went an hour long because I know AEW, and I know they're not going to start on time, and they're probably going to go long. So I taped an extra hour. And so the show started, and it was like whatever airs before that. It was I think it was Suits. And I'm just fast forward, 30 seconds. I went 28 minutes before I finally saw something that wasn't Suits. And it was Kenny Omega coming down to the ring. And then
nevertheless.
Yeah.
As a piece of marketing for AEW,
mm-hmm.
It misfired on all counts, because you didn't put your biggest stars on TV first. You put the heels in there so you could give the other 2 their big entrances.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't give let's just say normies think of professional wrestling. I was in a bar at first, and then I rewatched it so I could have sound. Everybody just meh. They looked at the wrestling of turn it kind of a thing. Well,
you could have started with, like, just
start
in
with
the ring
stars, or in the ring.
Like the as soon as they go on the air, the bell rings, and the announcers are like, these guys have been fired up at the bit, waiting for the All-Star game to end so they could fight.
It's real. Pretend it's live.
They've been standing in the ring waiting for the cue to fight, and now they can fight.
Yes, Fernando, it was an excellent way to start a wrestling show.
Yeah, the match, yes, yeah. Although They started
if you were only booking for hardcore wrestling fans.
They started at 1.03 million, and by the time that match was over, they were down to 567,000.
Yes.
They lost half their audience.
Yes. And you expected a drop off there. I wasn't saying you're going to keep a lot of people, and some people probably just kept their TVs on, and that's why the number's so high.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, the hook was wrong. The hook was great wrestlers. Mm-hmm. And there's a certain larger than life aspect to wrestling that people who would casually turn it, and look, I know no casuals watch AEW. It doesn't matter. You'd had a casual audience coming into this with a large group. That's all I'm saying. Is you want to find a way to hook them. And Tony's thinking is, I hook them with Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay.
Okay.
And I don't think that works. I'm sorry. I think they're great wrestlers.
What do you think of the match? What do you think of the match?
It was a Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay match. It was good.
I thought it was amazing display of athleticism. I can't I rated it really high. It was my match of the week.
That sure said, it was rated high. I didn't feel like it had a lot of heat.
Well, it didn't. Well, I mean, they really liked Kenny and Will, but that was more what the heat was. It wasn't about the match. The thing is, it wasn't a match. It wasn't a tag team match. It was
a stunt show.
Whole lot of And I heard some reviews of it saying, oh, they're not all stunts or whatever. And I will back up Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega, especially most of the time when people say, oh, all they do is spots, blah, blah, blah. This match was all about the spots.
Yes, it was all about the spots to pop the crowd. I get that.
Yeah. And I mean, the last 10 minutes of this match, the legal guys were Kenny Omega and Takeshita, but yet Ospreay and Fletcher were in the ring as much as they were. It was just I don't know why they just make it a tornado match, but that's probably because you had a street fight later on. You didn't want to have two of the same match. But I mean, it was if they would have just said it was a scramble or whatever they call when, guys don't have to tag, that's what it should have been.
Okay. So, no, I'm just talking about the missed opportunity.
Yeah, I somewhat agree with that. I would say, especially, like you say, if you got these curious people that don't necessarily know wrestling and really don't know AEW, you probably want to hook them with something other than violence. 5 minutes of entrances.
You want to hook them with violence.
Maybe they thought Kyle Fletcher was going to get cheered because he was in Australia. He definitely didn't.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Who would think that? That's why you team him with Don Callis.
I don't know. I mean, they put
maybe a smarky crowd.
They put Mark Davis in a match on the Ring of Honor thing, and he was a 100% babyface in the match.
Was he doing the? Was he doing that? I don't know. I shouldn't be a member of the Callis family.
No. It was it was the alternate universe. It was like it happened before. Even though it was taped the same night as Grand Slam, but he wrestled some local guy, and he was a 100% babyface.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. The rest of the show, I mean, I thought it was a really good show, other than I didn't really like some of the booking. And I didn't like the street fight, but everything else on the show I thought was, as good or better than I thought it was going to be. But I mean, there's no reason in hell that John Moxley should have beat Edge.
I agree. That street fight wasn't very good.
No.
I was a little put off, admittedly, by the inclusion of the puppet.
Yeah, I heard a lot of that.
In the Harley Cameron match. They were booking for moments in that, and I just felt like, okay, let me hear the purists. Let me hear the AEW purists talk about that. Because they were totally doing the Vince looks over the apron spot with her and the puppet looking over. That was totally that. And I like Mercedes. I was just kind of hoping this would be a more serious star building thing as opposed to I'll say the adjective, sports entertainment. That's what that was in every aspect of the word. And I don't fault it for Harley, the character in the build, but once the match starts, I don't want it necessarily, especially for someone who needs credibility.
I definitely see that.
That's my buck and a half.
And I don't like I know people are, oh yeah, Harley showed a lot in this feud, and we're gonna see a lot from her. I pretty sure the next time we see Harley, she's gonna be like in a match where the winner gets a shot at Tony.
Ring of Honor champion,
and she doesn't win.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I would
Her
love
next
to be wrong.
feud's Athena. I guarantee you this.
Oh no, I think it's Tony.
Oh, do you?
The way he normally books, and it won't be a feud. It'll just be a match.
Just a match.
But yeah,
like a 3-day thing.
Yeah.
Something happens on.
Maria
Collision.
had a great point here. The Grand Slam crowd was excellent.
Yeah,
a lot of people there. They were a hot crowd. It was great. I will say it didn't appear that they knew who Buddy Matthews was, but when he grabbed the mic and called Okada a wanker, all of a sudden they loved him, and so that was brilliant by him. Like I'm there's no sarcasm, nothing. I'm putting him over. That was a smart move by him. And
Rhea Ripley was in the crowd. Just show her real quick, not to us on TV, just to the people in the arena.
I did have to laugh and say that calling his move Murphy's Law, and then
Matthews Law.
Yeah, somebody shouted, "It's Matthews! It's Matthews!" I was like, oh god, Matthews Law makes no sense. Either just give it a new name or just call it Murphy's Law.
You think that was just somebody forgetting, or do you think that was Tony yelling in the headset?
It was someone yelling in the headset. And the funny thing is like, okay, Murphy's Law as the name of a move is dumb anyways. Anything that can go wrong will.
Yeah. for you, not for him.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Maybe Matthews Law is the other way around.
Yeah.
Everything that can't go right will.
So I found that match kind of bland too, to be honest.
I mean, it was every 205 Live match, but
yes, it was a very indie style type match.
Yeah.
I mean that and also the opener. So it's just one of those things where nothing really enthralled me greatly.
It reminded me a little of the Buddy Murphy. I was gonna say, reminded me a little bit of Buddy Murphy Cedric Alexander match at Mania.
Okay.
In 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. I liked the main event. I did. I thought that was fun.
Main event was fun. Yeah, it was good. It was a good story. It was, I mean, it took a while to get there, and I didn't really like everything they did along the way, but the last month they kind of hit all their spots, and it was the right finish at the right time in the right place. And and then apparently after they went off the air, they had a great moment with the crowd. So that was fun too. Matthew says he enjoyed tonight's Dynamite a lot more than the Australia show. We're getting a lot of that tonight. I can't say that, but I think I liked it more than you did based on your comment.
I mean, it got a little bit better towards the end, but that first half hour was
like that opening segment.
I hated it.
Okay, and we'll get into that opening segment in a bit. A couple other things we wanted to mention was the AEW announced today that they are moving Double or Nothing. They've done it in non-pandemic years. It's always been in Las Vegas, going back to 2019, which was their first pay-per-view, right? Yeah, it was at that show. Mm-hmm. And then 2020 was scheduled there, and then I had tickets, and then it got canceled because of COVID. 2021 they stayed in Jacksonville, and then 22 they were back in Vegas, and they've been there ever since. But with Mania running on April 19th and 20th, it didn't seem like a great idea to go back a month later for their signature show of the year.
I'll posit something else. It's cheaper in Arizona, and you can still have the LA travel crowd come out.
Yeah. And they can do the gambling aspect as well, right? There's casinos there.
Oh, yeah. No, there's some decent casinos in there. You can't do as much different types of gambling unless you travel a little bit because...
No, I mean, it's more...
Well, they've situated the poker all in one casino now, and then there are... Yeah.
It's more about the theming of the show, though.
It's in Glendale, Arizona, though, which is about... I'd say 15 to 20 minutes outside of Phoenix with no traffic. It has its own complex out there, and it has, like the modern day arenas do. It has a bunch of shops and stuff around it. It's not really Phoenix per se, but it's around.
Yeah, like it's hard to get locals to go there, right? Like locals from Phoenix.
They've always had bad sports teams. And so the only thing that was out there on the weekly basis was the hockey team, which has
and what I had always heard was the reason they can't draw is because of where they are. It wasn't so much
Yes,
about the team.
yeah. There's no transit out there.
Right. So if it was in downtown Phoenix, they think they would have had better crowds. But I think your point is, and you're right. I mean, they had a bad team. I mean, they got our team, the Winnipeg Jets,
Yes,
who are
it's
other than the Toronto Maple
it's a
Leafs.
hockey arena they're running this show in. So they wanted the
Yeah.
small, as opposed to Footprint, which is where the Suns play, and they did a Dynamite in there a while ago. I guess I don't know how the numbers were for that, but
I like this. I think the answer to your question, Matt, is yes. It is necessary for each pay-per-view to have the same every year. That's just Tony's OCD. But that's probably not.
They're trying to establish tradition. I have no problem with them doing that. I think the marketing's kind of, I mean, they're trying to differentiate themselves, and I get that. I have no problem with that. Once they expanded to 12, it got a little bit ridiculous for me. But
yeah, they could. That Matt has it, like he said, the pay-per-view should be called AEW Till Death Do Us Part. You could do Double or Nothing Till Death Do Us Part.
Yeah, that'd be
you could
fine.
do that. Yeah. You know what, John? I didn't check, but Jeff, you were saying that you could possibly go to the next 2 pay-per-views if you wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Revolution's in crypto, which they're selling tickets decently there. It's just one of the, and the price is right. I could get a luxury suite, it'd be kind of nice. And then Arizona. I mean, my mom lives out there, so and I'm planning on flying out the next Friday, possibly to Virginia. So that would be a thing. So yeah, I might go. I don't know.
So John, to answer your question, 2,966 tickets distributed.
Right.
It was the arena debut. They were set up for 3,275. They could have sold as many as 4,840.
Yeah, because Footprint was set up for 9 or 10, I think, or 8 or 9 when they came out there.
Yeah, and this was the Arizona Financial Theater, which I like these theaters as venues. I really do. I think the crowd comes across really well. They were pretty good tonight. Not as good as some of the recent ones, but you know,
NXT's always worked in theaters too. I mean, and not this isn't a one-on-one comparison, but like the Shrine Theater I heard was really well set up, and I saw an NXT show at the Hollywood Palladium where they set up the ring on the dance floor, what was the old dance floor. It's usually chairs out there, you know, that they set up there, but they used the stage, I think, as, you know, to come down from as the ramp. I mean, theaters are good. I mean, unusual venues are good. AEW is not an arena per se product just yet. It needs to regrow a little bit to be that, I think. And in doing so, it gets comparison shopped against the big boys, and I don't think it should be. I think they should embrace their differences in terms of venues too. So yeah,
that as well as Matt's point here was just perfect. The depressing vibe of the empty buildings not being there has been an enormous improvement to the feeling the show gives me when I watch it. Yeah, you don't want to watch a show with a dead crowd. I will say WWE crowds are usually pretty hot lately. Monday night was a dead crowd, and I didn't like that show very much. And the dead crowd had a lot to do with why. So, you know, that to me, that has a lot to do with it as well. You know, depending, and it doesn't matter if the wrestling in the ring is good. I mean, it matters, but the dead crowd doesn't make up for it, is what I'm saying. So
I agree.
Yeah. All right. So we have this show tonight, and like I said, I did not take notes, but I will kind of go from memory here, and I will say, okay, so the first segment they started with, and again, I mentioned our announced team was Excalibur and Ian Riccoboni and Taz. Even though Tony Schiavone was there, I don't think he was on commentary, right?
Holy crap, he was there, wasn't he? Because he introed.
Yeah, he did the Orange Cassidy interview.
Huh.
And they also said he's going to be on Collision, which is being taped as we speak.
Guess he didn't want to do 2 shows in a row, back to back.
I guess, or Tony didn't want him to.
I wonder if Nigel's there to do Collision.
I assume not, because JR said he was going to be joining Tony Schiavone on Collision.
There we go.
So yeah, so JR was there filling in for Nigel. I guess maybe Nigel got some time off. Who knows? I'm sure we'll hear about it. But they open with a face-to-face confrontation between MJF and Adam Page. Now, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try to do this for each segment, I'm going to tell you what I remember. and then I'll get your thoughts, and then we'll go and see what AI had to say.
Oh God.
So
this bit's gonna die a death within 5 minutes.
If it's dying, we'll drop it.
All right.
But okay, so I remember I like this from what I saw, and obviously you said you didn't.
I did not.
All right. So I mean, okay, so it starts with MJF basically doing the same promo he always does, and he's telling us all what he's done. The one thing he mentioned that I don't remember, well, I don't remember because I never saw it, because I went to the first Double or Nothing, but I was late because my sister and I couldn't read the time right, and we got there at the start of the regular show, not at the start of the pre-show, so we missed the pre-show. And on the very first match of the pre-show, Hangman Page won the Battle Royal to get into the world title match with Chris Jericho. And I guess Hangman and MJF were the last two in it, and he eliminated them, I'm assuming. I've never seen it. They've never shown it. I don't think they've ever given us this information in 5.5 years, or almost 6 now. But MJF told us this. So, that was their first confrontation. Then they wrestled for the Dynamite Diamond Ring in 2019, late, at the end of the year. And that's the last time these two have had a match together. They were
two matches occurred during the buy-in. The first was a Casino Battle Royal, in which the winner would face the winner of the main event for the inaugural AEW World Championship at All Out. Adam Page, 21st and final entrant. He was the Joker, as you'll recall, won by last eliminating MJF.
I will not recall because I didn't see it. So I do remember when Hangman came out for that Jericho match. My sister, who had never been to a pro wrestling show, had not watched pro wrestling since 2001. She dropped it cold after they fucked up the Kurt Angle Triple H storyline with Steph. She was totally into that, and when Steph went back to Triple H, she checked out and never checked back in. She watched this show and she was smitten by the Hangman. And so, that was the one guy from the show that she, came away with. She knew Jericho and she knew Dustin. And she knew Cody as Dustin's brother, but that was all she knew him as. Like, she'd never seen him. She just had heard of him. So anyways, so these guys have been, top of the card guys since the beginning of AEW, and they've never really had anything to do with each other other than those two things. They were in a 6-man on the Brody Lee tribute show at the end of 2020, but that was like AEW kind of pretends that never happened, like in terms of canon. So yeah, so that was that, and they had this segment, and basically, MJF said, went over all his accomplishments and everyone should love me, but they don't. And they've decided that you're the virtuous guy. Then he brought up all the bad things Hangman's done over the years. The funny thing about what MJF said about all the bad things that he did with Hangman was almost every bad thing he did was to one guy, and it was Swerve. And I think we're going to have an issue here like with people cheering Hangman. And Swerve's supposed to be this big, massive baby face. Why is Swerve going to be okay with this? I don't know. That is a bit of a hole in this storyline. But so it's
been a hole in the storyline since they feuded, Paul. Now you're worried about it. Now you're concerned.
Well, now I'm concerned because he's a baby face now, and MJF's pointing out that the fans are ignoring the fact that he did all this to Swerve, but they still love Swerve. So I don't quite get the psychology there. But anyways. Hangman comes back and and he basically says, everything I've done all the years, I've told 1,000 lies, but I've never lied to these people. And then MJF basically says to him, he's like, I can do everything. I can wrestle better than you. I can talk better than you. I look better than you. Name one thing that you can do that's better than me. And MJF's answer was, I'm real. And the fans cheered, and MJF looked at him like, I think he wanted to laugh at him, but he was trying to sell that this was devastating or in some way. And yeah, it was something. And then at the end of all this, I mentioned your two big stars from day one, the most over guy in this whole thing, because they ended up, MJF spit on him. They were about to go to blows. Security came out, broke it all up. In the middle of all this, Chris Daniels is there. And all of a sudden, Hangman calms down and he just stares at Chris. And Chris talks to him off mic, but we can hear every word of it. And that was the other thing in Hangman's promo. He's like talking about Chris like he's dead. He went out on his shield, he said, which is something you say when somebody's dead. And he was there and he's fine. Like, I don't know why he's not around. But anyways, I like the intensity. I liked some of the verbiage. The fans were into it. So that's kind of why I liked it. But as I'm watching it, I also saw a lot of holes in the story they were telling. And now, Jeff, I'll give you the floor because I just realized I remembered a lot more of it than I thought I did.
Two beta males yelling at each other. And this has everything in every pro wrestling promo in modern times that I don't like. We talked about how the Office likes you better.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about, during that MJF Hangman thing about what he does better. It was Max talking to Adam about the meta characteristics of professional wrestling that he does. I'm a better talker than you. I'm a better wrestler than you. And then what the feud is about. He's been in this company for 5 years. These people don't love me. So Max has low self-esteem. And Hangman, who chose to put Christopher Daniels out. That was a choice he made.
Mm-hmm.
And, Adam Page, do you regret what you did to Christopher Daniels? No. That was the answer. That was the direct answer that Hangman Page gave to Renee about the feud where now Hangman Page, he went out on his shield. You put him on the shield. You did this to him. You did this. This is our mayor in Los Angeles is currently trying to figure out, after making a campaign promise that she wouldn't travel to foreign countries, who was it that allowed her to go to a foreign country when LA caught on fire? There's going to be an investigation of this. You know who the first thing she should look at is? The mirror. She did this. She allowed herself to go there. This is a preposterous storyline in so many ways. We had office politics. We had meta commentary. We have two driving forces for both characters that suck. Because MJF is a heel who wants to be loved, and Adam Page is a jerk who wants to be redeemed. I hated this segment.
Oh, I did forget the one key line of MJF's whole soliloquy was when he pointed out all the bad things that Hangman did. And he said, and yet these people love you anyways. But do you love yourself?
Yes. This is an emo baby feud. Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Professional wrestling used to be manly men who did manly things. And now we're talking about our feelings.
There was aspects of this that kind of reminds me
of this that were good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it reminds it like the stuff with Hangman and Daniels is kind of compelling in a way. Like, even though it makes no sense, but it kind of reminds me of a little bit of like Magnum TA and Mr. Wrestling 2.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. No.
But the roles are backwards. That's the problem.
Okay, but you know what this is gonna turn into, don't you? This is going to be Adam Page backstage right before his match at Double or Nothing. Christopher Daniels gives a big hug and says, I forgive you. And then Daniels goes out and then he goes out there for the fight of his life. I hope so. That's what he should do.
Yeah.
In professional wrestling, this is what you should do, but
should give angels wings.
Thank you, Adam Page, for retiring me and not enabling me to make the massive amounts of money that a professional wrestler makes. And instead, now I'm in an office job.
Making the massive amounts of money that AEW.
Well, yes, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, thanks for taking away the thing I loved, Adam Page. I forgive you. Now go out there and beat the low self-esteem guy who wants people to cheer him, even though he's a jerk. if you take a step back and look at the macro of this feud, it sucks. I'm sorry. I love both these guys. No, I love one more than the other, but it's one of those things where I'm just like, this is something that they wrote down on paper and it looked good on paper, and then they didn't practice it. I think they just went out there and winged it a bit, and it's one of those things where I'm just like, these two should end up in counseling more than they should be fighting, because it's ridiculous.
But it'll be a good match, so the sickles will win.
Oh God.
So
next so much right now, Paul. On paper, it's a good match. Shut up. You'll get your 4.5 stars and get able to put in your spreadsheet. I want the heat.
You know what? This freaking stuff is not in order. Hang on.
Go to the Observer and
AI sucks.
Yes.
Dude. Oh my God! It's got everything, but I just realized it's out of order because the next thing they got is the
no. The next thing is the Undisputed Kingdom cutting one of the worst promos in the history.
No, according to my AI review, it's Powerhouse Hobbs and Big Bill Street Fight.
I don't give a damn. I know what it was because I looked at the clock and we'd already gone 25 minutes, and now we're getting 4 minutes of promo time from the most vanilla dry paint.
Oh my God! This guy.
Roddy's back to yelling random things.
Yeah. So I missed. I'm assuming he opened the interview by saying Renee.
No, he opened it by screaming orange into the mic. And if you had
orange,
if you had your volume up at any level, you had to turn it down at some point because it absolutely blew out the speakers.
So it was Renee. It was Renee with the Undisputed Kingdom. It was not great. The funny thing, the stupid thing here was they basically cut a heel promo, even though they've been baby faces the whole time.
Thank you. This was my note. Yeah. You stole my thunder a little bit. They cut a heel. Freaking Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Who? My God, Kyle, you ready to show some personality today? Boy, am I.
Yeah.
Comes in there and
we're conglomerating.
We're conglomerating. And we don't care. Please tell us what they said in this promo.
I don't know. I didn't take notes.
That's basically what he did. Okay, I thought you were just making a joke. No, we're a conglomeration, so we're conglomerating all over the place.
Adam Cole said at one point, like, I don't care that these guys were boys. He's here to kick ass, and we're going. Yes. Now here's the one thing I want to say.
Undisputed. I nailed the outro. There we go.
Here's what so on Grand Slam Dynamite, they announced this International Championship Series, and they flashed up the graphics, and Excalibur went a mile a minute on the thing, and I looked at it and I listened to him and I was like, wait a minute, what is this? And then this is just coming off of Kenny Omega challenging Takeshita for the title at Revolution. So I'm like, okay, first of all, why are they doing this when we've already got an international title match at Revolution? And then it's like, Orange Cassidy, he's been gone for a while. What's he doing? And I'm like, my head is spinning and I couldn't make sense of any of it. So then today I'm looking at this International Championship Series.
Yes.
What it is
a play-in game for the tournament.
Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong are wrestling each other.
Yes.
It's a number 1 contenders match.
Well, no, winner, it's a number 2 contenders match.
No, it's a number 1 contenders match. Well, yes. Okay. That on paper, this is a number 1 contenders match because the winner gets a title shot against Konosuke Takeshita. And then the winner of that match is going to defend the title at Revolution against Kenny Omega.
No.
Now yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. They fight, and then the winner gets Kenny Omega, and then Omega fights, or the winner of the Omega this guy match then fights Takeshita.
No, you are wrong, Jeff.
What?
This is what I'm telling you. Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy was a number 1 contenders match. That's it.
Stupid.
That's all it was. That's all they have to say. But the problem is the way they are doing this, they shouldn't have called this the International Championship Contender Series or the International Championship Series is what they called it. They should have called it the Kenny Omega Challenger Series. Because basically you are competing to get a match with Kenny Omega at Revolution. That's all they talked about. At the end of the show, when you had the winner, spoiler alert, Orange Cassidy in the ring, and then he's being attacked by the Callis family, and Kenny Omega makes a save, they said Orange Cassidy will face Konosuke Takeshita next week for the international title. The winner will face Kenny Omega at Revolution.
That is dumb.
The prize is not the title. The prize,
is the match with Omega.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we see what the problem with booking is then, because the title should be more important than the critical acclaim of getting a match with Kenny Omega.
Now that said, the winner will be the international champion.
Yes,
but that's a side product.
We're getting Takeshita versus Omega at Revolution. We're just doing it the most back-asswards way we can.
Theoretically, we could be getting Orange Cassidy against Kenny Omega, but we aren't. All right. Then we got
Takeshita and Omega. Just build it.
Oh, and in case you want to know what the AI had to say about this,
no, I don't. Let's move on.
Well, they didn't have anything to say about this because it's not in the write-up.
It's predictive text. They probably didn't catch up on it, but okay.
Could be. And I did mention about the MJF Hangman thing. The segment effectively deepened the personal animosity between the two, setting the stage for future confrontations. They did announce during this show that they will face each other at Revolution. That match was booked. Next up, let's
just sit here with dead air for a moment and ponder what AI just told us this feud was about.
Yeah. Next up, we got the Opps against and the Opps, of course, is Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata against the Patriarchy, Christian Cage, Kip Sabian, and Nick Wayne with Mother Wayne. Now, I will tell you what I remember from this match. I remember Joe and Shibata were having a lot of fun.
Yes.
They were tripping Nick Wayne and they were tripping Kip Sabian. The same thing Joe did to I think it was John Cruz last week. It's a new spot that it's the new walkaway spot, and they chopped the shit out of Nick Wayne.
Oh God, yeah.
And Kip Sabian. Hook joined in on the fun. At one point,
Hook killed the bit though. That's the thing that drove me nuts. Is Joe chops him 4 times, tags in Shibata 4 times, tags in Hook, and I think it was 2 chops, and then that was it.
I think Hook would hurt his own hand. That's
problem. Possibly, yes.
Yeah. So at one point when Hook was chopping Nick Wayne, I think it was Shivani was actually in this one. No, it was Riccaboni, because Riccaboni said that on the very last Rampage, Nick Wayne went after Nick Wayne's hand, and then Excalibur quickly corrected him and said it was Hook's hand, and then it was like, because I guess somebody must have corrected them, but those are the things I remember. And then Joe choked somebody out to win the match, but I can't remember who, and I think Christian bailed on his partners.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I got out of this. I do believe I fell asleep at some point after the commercial.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I woke up as the bell was ringing.
Do you like the name The Opps?
I mean, it's a name. I don't care. Someone explained it to me last week, and it's fine. I mean, it's stupid and it's confusing, but
we're old Caucasian. I'm a Caucasian. You are not a Caucasian.
I'm native, but we don't have Opps.
We're old. We are old, and I get it. It just doesn't. The name doesn't pop to me, but okay.
I think there's a lot of people questioning what that name means. I've seen it a lot, and I've Anthony. I know he listens. I
thought Joe explained it pretty well, but when they did the promo,
but he didn't really kind of say the origin of the term. So I know that there were people wondering why there's an extra P, because they're thinking like Opps, and then the other thing is, well, there's the OPP, like OPP down with
no. That is such an old reference that
I know
only we would make it. Yes,
I don't even think Joe was born yet, and he's the oldest guy on the team.
Yes,
no, he was probably born, but Hook definitely wasn't.
No.
So that, this was fun. It was just to get these guys over. It kind of feels like they just blew this feud off.
I think we're rushing to the finish. I think Christian basically gets beat or whatever. The Patriarchy breaks up, and then Christian's free to do whatever we're going to do with Cope. I think
which is probably going to happen at Revolution.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
So the team that went over are the ones that are going to go back to just doing nothing, and the guy that lost is going to be involved in the world title picture. Is that what you're telling me?
A tag title picture, I believe.
For that contract? Oh, I mean, eventually.
Right. That's right. Never mind. He does have that contract. Okay.
I mean, I think that involvement is going to be very
he
brief.
had that contract, and it's part of his gimmick.
Yeah. Well, usually, if you follow along with these Money in the Bank things, they push it. They don't,
and then they
for a
shut
long
up.
time, and then they shut up about it right before they're about to do it. So that tells me we're in that final stretch right now.
I actually like that they don't bring it up a lot because they've been overshadowing it with the Max Caster contract.
Oh, yeah. We'll get to old Max. I can't wait to see who accepts that open challenge.
I want Collision to be like 6 dudes with briefcases. That's all. Just I got a title match in here.
I mean, it's probably already been taped, or it's being taped right now, but who you got for answering Max's open challenge?
Josh.
I'm going with Brody King.
Brody King. I was thinking maybe this is how you reintroduce Wardlow, but
that would be good. It could be. I mean, at some point it'll probably be Anthony Bowens, right?
I think it's probably gonna be Bobby Lashley again. No,
that'd be funny. That'd be funny. All right. Okay. So yeah, that and I'll just okay. I think this bit is already dying.
Naughty by nature, not because I hate you. No. Okay.
The Opps dominated the match, displaying cohesive teamwork and in-ring prowess, leading to a decisive victory. The match not only entertained the audience, but also reinforced the strength of AEW's Trios division. Okay, this AI sucks.
Thank you. Dump it.
All right, I will. And here's where they announced MJF and Hangman. Then we got Hangman highlights, I should say, from the ROH Global Wars show on Monday, which was actually a fun show. If you have Honor Club, I strongly advise going and watching that. It's like just over an hour long, and it's like 5 matches, really good. But anyways, Renee Paquette with Chris Jericho, and she asked him, okay, you know what? I'm not going to read. I'm going to tell you what I remember. So Jericho is with Renee, and he's going to accept the he's given Bandito a world title match because Bandito pinned him on Saturday, and he's telling him to forget about the bounty. He's just going to kick his ass. And he said people have been taking him for granted for far too long. And then he got into Kris fucking Jericho in. And I should point out, all night people are swearing and they're not bleeping it. What they're doing is they're putting in like a record cut. It was the most annoying thing, and it happened about, I don't know, 6 times tonight, I think.
It popped somebody in a pitch meeting, and then they decided to do it in real life, and it's annoying.
Yeah. So and Jericho here, like, he's never said, Kris and Jericho, in his life, and he did it here. So but yeah, and then Renee and he like told Renee to wipe that smirk off your face or something. And so that was that. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
Okay. It's fine promo for Jericho. I'm actually like this program. Thinking
you rebuilt Bandito as Ring of Honor champion here.
Okay, my idea was he wins the title, and I mean, this is before I knew they were going to have the match on Collision. Although that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
See, because to me, the guy is Eddie Kingston when he comes back to dethrone Jericho. I think that's perfect. But I would, you know what? If he's not coming back anytime soon, I'd get Bandito. I'd take the belt off Jericho.
Yeah, I would. My thing was when Bandito came back and it looked like he was going to be facing Jericho. Like, this is when he first got injured. I thought, give him the title, keep him exclusive to Ring of Honor, and build a company around him, just like you're doing with the women's division with Athena. Because I think he will shine more there than he will in AEW, because there's too many sharks in AEW. And he's only going to get to a certain level, and he's not beating the Moxleys, the MJF, the Hangmans, like, he's not getting into that crew. So in ROH, he can, and then if they get a TV deal, he can be the guy, and he's awesome. So, like, if you like Bandito, sign up for Honor Club or watch their new show, wherever it's going to be. So That was that. Next up, we got the aforementioned street fight, Powerhouse Hobbs and Big Bill.
Hell yeah.
This was great. This is probably the best thing on the show.
Yes.
They've been building this for a month. They had another brawl on the Monday ROH Global War show to set this up. And they just went all over the place. They had all kinds of weapons involved. I think the finish came when Bill or Hobbs threw Bill off of a stage onto a table. And then did he pin him or was he counted out? I didn't quite
I believe he was counted out, or he was counted down. It was much like a Texas death match. And I believe he was wrapped up in barbed wire, which was why we had to give him the 10. I will be consistent intellectually. I do not like the aspect of street fights where somebody comes up to help set up props. I don't. But I understand why they do it in today's modern era and whatnot. I think the story in itself is the fight, but I enjoyed this. Two big dudes beating the crap out of each other. That's what I want in my pro wrestling. I liked it.
There was the one spot that I got a kick out of where Bill had I think it was a wrench. Yes. And he kept swinging it at Bill and he would miss and hit something. And then it would make a loud noise or a dent in whatever he hit. And then the last time he hit the ring post and hurt his own hand. And then that was what turned the match around at that point. So that was kind of good. So they had a little bit of psychology in with their blunder nonsense. And it was good. And then Bill Hobbs bladed at one point. I didn't quite see how. He just went off screen for 30 seconds.
I believe it was during the commercial or the picture in picture he was doing that.
When he disappeared, he came back and then he was bleeding. And it's funny because they said at one point they said he's streaming blood, and then they're like, no, it's pouring down his face. Then they showed him, and it was it was fine, but it wasn't. I've seen a lot worse.
I believe the announcers were being annotated as it went, and Tony had his thesaurus out.
Yeah. Because it was fine, but it wasn't they put it over like it was this Muda type blade job, and it wasn't anything close to that.
No, it was not.
Yeah, but it was great. And at the end of the match, he's standing strong. He's got blood streaming down his face, and I just said streaming.
I was literally a little bit worried about Hobbs's knee when he took the shot. When he took that, I didn't see how
I hope he's just selling good.
So do I, because knee braces. God, too many guys with knee braces. Now I notice it everywhere. But it's one of those things where when they did the keyboard / mixer spot. I didn't see. I don't know. Did Brian Keith throw the mixer at him? Was that how that happened? Because I didn't see.
No. I think it was Bill that got the mixer. Yeah,
because it looked like somebody. It looked. They had the keyboard with it, and he took the keyboard and then hit him after that. But they said it was a mixer before that, so it was but it came off screen. I didn't see how it got there, but okay.
There was a match like this that Bill had an impact with somebody. I want to say Matt Cardona, and it was actually pretty good.
Sounds about right.
Cardona was the digital media champion.
Yes.
Yeah. And the gimmick was that they would use computer related items. So you'd have floppy disks.
Yeah, they took that from ECW when they did cyber whatever, and when you'd go watch a Public Enemy match, everybody would bring stuff, and people would bring computer keyboards and stuff. Yeah,
I always love the gimmick where it's everything but a kitchen sink, and then someone would actually bring
a kitchen sink.
Yeah. So they had an interview. I will fully admit to I literally at the end of that at the end of the street fight, because I missed exactly what I saw him get thrown off into the table, and then the next thing I remember seeing was Hobbs with his hand raised, so that's why I couldn't remember exactly what had happened. And then I kind of drifted off again, and when I came to, there was an interview was wrapping up with Renee and the Murder Machine, so I didn't hear anything they said. Did you? They called out the Hurt Syndicate. That's what
they said they're going to be there on Collision on Saturday, and if the Hurt Syndicate won, they can bring their big boy pants and be there, and everybody dies.
So that's probably going to be a fight on Collision, and then they'll probably have a match later.
Yes,
would be my guess. Okay, all right, that makes sense. They were building to that. That's good. I'm looking forward to that match. I will say, not as much as I'm looking forward to. No, I'm not even going to say it here. I almost got myself in trouble, and I'm smart enough to not say anything. Justin Roberts. I know you're going to ask me that as soon as we go off the air. Justin Roberts made the announcement that Double or Nothing is going to Phoenix on May 25th. And they were in Phoenix tonight. So I believe tickets went on sale as well. So good timing on that one. And then we got, and this I don't believe was advertised at all, because when I did the match preview at like 5 o'clock this afternoon, it wasn't on the rundown. Timeless Tony Storm celebration. And so I will tell you what I remembered from this. She said she called herself a bunch of nasty words. She put herself over as the winner. And I don't really remember what the point of this was, other than Luther was out there.
These are just a bunch of dirty jokes.
Okay,
that's how they were. It was
she
just
didn't challenge anyone or anything.
Nope.
Okay.
This was all just reinforcing the Hays Code character that she was doing.
It says here in the F4W write-up that she did put in a plug for the movie that's coming up.
Yes.
Queen of the Ring.
No. Yeah. She pulled a Foley and broke the fourth wall and goes, cheap plug, turned to the camera, addressed us and said, I'm in Queen of the Ring at this Friday or whatever, and then back to her promo.
Storm, okay, here. So Storm said she's here to defend the title against the best, whether that's Kris Statlander, she was taken out tonight, Willow Nightingale, who was
taken out
basically a non-factory, or Wendy Richter, who has been retired for 30 years.
Yes, because that's the rule of threes, the one who's never going to answer. Yes.
Storm said whoever wants to go face-to-face, tit-to-tit, or lip-to-lip, she's not hard to find. God is a woman, her name is timeless, and she dropped the mic.
There were a lot of rhymes within there that were just dirty jokes, and
there's things that only she can get away with. They kind of told you that you're not going to be seeing Mariah May for a while.
That's fine.
Well. Yeah, because
bring her back and make her part of the Callis family. That's what I want.
That'd be cool, or the Elite, if they're going to be big heels. But maybe I like Callis better actually. They showed a Gabe video package, Gabe Kidd video package that Matt was talking about. I did kind of see this. I drifted off again during the Tony promo, and I woke up during the Gabe Kidd hype video. So
I am going to disagree with Matt a little bit.
He's not going to cut an unhinged promo on Saturday.
What? Okay. What has brought Gabe Kidd to the dance is his promo ability, and the highlight reel is all about how he's Japanese strong style. It's
So he's going to be the one that answers Max Caster's challenge.
Maybe.
I see Matt just said that. Yeah, that's totally. And Gabe Kidd's going to kick his ass. But you know what? So what? We're going to get a 2-minute Gabe Kidd match?
No, he's not going to because he's a heel. Gabe Kidd's a heel. He's not going to answer the heel challenge.
No, he's a babyface. In New Japan, anyways. I don't know about...
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he just got turned on by House of Torture.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a
I don't pay attention to New Japan, obviously, so there you go. But it's one of those things where it's like they're hyping him, and his ability is... I mean, his hook is he says a lot of things that you shouldn't say. And how did they hype him? He's a good wrestler.
That's part of the hook. But I mean, if you actually watch the shows, which again, you just said you don't.
Wrestler.
Yeah. No, he's a brawler. Like he is.
I've seen some of his matches. He's not that much of a brawler.
That's kind of all he is right now. Like
now he might be.
He just had the match with Yota Tsuji.
I was in the Dogs of War match with the.
Did you see the Yota Tsuji match?
No.
Oh, you should watch it. I mean, it was they went to a double count.
Okay, then if he's a brawler, why are you telling me he's Japanese strong style then?
Because that's what brawling is, isn't it?
No, brawling is like Hanson and clotheslining the hell out of a guy.
No, this is like no, he's a brawler like a Shi'i and Suzuki. Like that's what he is.
Oh,
yeah, like he's strong style. Like that's what he is. So they on this.
So he doesn't sell for a while and fires up at the end and gets pinned.
Kind of, yeah. And then he kind of dies at the end. Like so what happened was in the Gabe Kidd Yota Tsuji match, they had this just wild brawl for 20 minutes, and then they both died, and they couldn't answer the 10 count like in the ring. So they did a 10 count in the ring.
Actually, Curryhead makes a good point. I forgot about that. Yeah. In addition, there are some penis jokes. Like you had a very small package. I got you. you needed some protection for that small package, and all these types of jokes. So yeah, it was. If Tony Storm was the TBS champion, I probably would have liked this promo more than I did. I liked it, but we're full on in character world champion mode again.
Here it is. Folks say good things come in small packages, but May should have worn protection as Storm railed her with the biggest package there's ever been.
Yes.
Okay. Only Tony could get away with that.
Only Tony, yes.
Yeah. So
or the Rock. They'd have forgiven him. The strudel.
So we go backstage again to Renee Paquette, who was wearing a beautiful green top today, and it was she looked lovely. She was backstage with Willow Nightingale, who again they're slowly getting to this, but she mentions that the last time she's had 1 minute of promo time in 2025, and she was interrupted by her husband.
Yes,
she didn't even mention Marina. She said your husband. And then Marina she mentions, and then before she can say anything else, she gets cute. She gets attacked by Shafir again.
Yes,
they both start brawling. John Moxley walks into the shot and takes the cameraman out stage along with Wheeler, and then we go right into a John Moxley promo.
I'm here for the conspiracy theory that Renee is setting up Willow every time to get beat up.
Yeah. So again, I don't remember this promo.
I do.
Other than I will say that it seemed like it was better than most of Moxley's promos.
It was decent. He basically said, because he's the champion, that everything in AEW is his. This ring is mine. Those chairs that you're sitting in is mine. These ropes are mine. All those other things. I thought it was a decent promo, to be honest with you.
They didn't even bother trying to explain why Cope is getting a title shot after getting pinned by Moxley.
No, they're not.
I thought maybe Cope was gonna put up his career or something, but no one is.
You know what? If Moxley's gimmick was that he was an unhinged lunatic,
that's
this promo would be great. Would have been phenomenal in terms of thinking, because he's a champion who's lost his damn mind and thinks he now owns the company because he's the champion. But no, I liked it though overall. He basically just said, "I'm going to kick your ass," and then they did the thing, and then Cope said, "I'm going to kick your ass." This is all I want, man.
Well, the funny thing is when this first started, remember the very first thing he said to Tony Schiavone was, "This isn't your company anymore."
Yeah, no, that's true.
I mean, that's true. Consistent.
No, it's consistent, and there's none of the emo stuff from the first promo, so I'm fine with it.
Now he did tell us that Copeland wasn't here, and he said
he's a heel. He lies.
You're fine.
I totally was fine with that. Yeah.
Well, no, because it got a bigger pop when Copeland showed up, so that's good. He probably still face down in the dirt in Australia. So I'm reading from the Observer thing because again, I don't remember. So Switchblade's music hits. He walks out through the tunnel. Claudio Castagnoli magically appeared in the ring. So and Pac showed up too. I do remember this because I was like, where did Pac show up? Like I was like, I remember Moxley and Wheeler, and then like I said, Claudio. I think these guys are just showing up like and this was live, so it wasn't like on Collision where people were actually vaporizing into position. Because it was taped. So anyways, so now everyone's there. White's surrounded. Then Cope's music hits. He attacked Moxley from behind. Now I think he came through. Was he like dressed in a disguise or something? And he was actually in the ring the whole time. No, okay. This is where
I don't remember how he came in. I just remember
his music hit, and they were all waiting for him, and then he attacked Moxley from behind. So I don't know where he came from. Maybe it's the crowd. I don't know.
I think it was the crowd.
Okay, so White dropped Pac with a Blade Runner. Cope hit spears on Yuta and assisted one with White. Then he grabbed Spike under the ring, swung wildly. Moxley's crew left. Cope grabbed a mic and said, "It's not Moxley's arena. These fans aren't his. They're Cope's people." Said Moxley's probably back under his bridge where he lives. So when he sees this, Moxley has no spine. He'll take his goon squad out one-on-one till it's man-to-man at Revolution. So I guess we're going to get a bunch of singles matches.
That'd be my guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, we got 2 weeks?
So we get a bunch of singles matches in 2 weeks. Yes.
Yeah. Probably going to be a tag team match between Cope and
we just saw the tag team match. We don't need to see another one. Damn it, Tony. Book something. As Paul chokes to death. He's on mute.
I don't know
still.
what's wrong with my. You can see my eyes watering. That's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
You okay?
Yeah, I just I've had a cold all week, and it's all the talking is getting to me. So
okay.
There was a promo here. Now this, I have zero recollection of this. Like I don't think I saw it at all. I think I fell asleep again in that Copeland in the whole Copeland thing because I don't remember Cope's promo and I don't remember this. It was Renee with Mercedes. Harley learned there's a price to pay when you mess with Monet, and they showed Momo backstage at Grand Slam Australia. She wants a shot at Monet, which she actually won on January 5th. In that, if you recall, the last international championship series they had, where the 4 women from 4 different companies wrestled each other, and the winner got a title shot.
Mo. Remember that bit on The Simpsons where all over because he gets his Mo.
I thought you were trying to tell me I was muted. I was like talking.
No, I'm doing a arcane Simpsons bit. Mo.
So Watanabe needs to show up on Dynamite, say that to her face. So I don't know if we're going to see the match on Dynamite, if it's going to be at Revolution. I hope it's not at Revolution, but probably will be.
She just announced that she's also showing up at Rev Pro again. Too.
Who's that?
Mercedes.
Yeah, well, she's got their title, so
yeah, I know, but still, well,
maybe she'll
lose. And for her, I like it.
Oh, you know, on the ROH Global Wars show, Alex Windsor, you know who that is?
Yes. I'll tell you what I didn't like while you're taking.
Who's Alex Windsor, Jeff? Tell the people that might not know.
She's a female wrestler.
What else is she known for?
I don't know that much.
She's Will Ospreay's girlfriend.
Oh, is she? Okay.
I don't know that.
No.
Oh, okay. I
don't care.
But she's
I tried to stay one step removed from when B. Priestley was dating him.
She's also, and I'm not sure that that the fact that they said this is not related to the previous fact I just told you.
Okay.
The most legendary champion in the history of British women's professional wrestling.
Hey, how about that?
Yeah. I don't follow British women's professional wrestling that closely, but I'm willing to bet that that's not true.
She's no Ginny. No,
she's no Mercedes.
You know, here's the thing. I did not. That's the one thing I did not like on Grand Slam was the whole Momo's in the crowd and then just kind of Mercedes just kind of blows her off or whatever in the thing. I thought, you know, give Harley her moment too. You know, let her get the applause break after having, you know, a well fought match and stuff. We don't need to move on to the next banger of a match, guys.
I thought for sure we were gonna get that. Maybe we did live, like maybe they just edited it, but I thought we were gonna get that like Benoit moment, you know.
Where, it was Australia. Where else is she gonna get clapped after a match for the most part?
But I think the idea is she had her time. We're done with her now. We're moving on.
No, that's Tony saying. Let's move on. Next feud. Here we go.
Yeah.
2 days of build, and then we'll do the match.
Speaking of which,
yes,
Megan Bayne and Kris Statlander. So when this match was announced, they set this up on Grand Slam. That's fine. I mean, it was literally one segment, but it feels way too soon.
Yes,
to do this. Now I will say that they learned their lesson from Camille versus Kris Statlander.
No,
because at least the right person went over here.
That's fine, but it's still they did not learn their lesson with Camille. They threw them in the ring immediately when everything should be. I'm looking forward to seeing these 2 giant women lock up at the pay-per-view.
Now they did have a really good match.
It was fine. No, look, although
I didn't like the finish. But
I hated the finish.
Yeah.
Megan Bayne and Kris Statlander are almost now polar opposites in some ways.
Yeah, one of them's tiny, apparently.
Well, one of them's tan, jacked, and crisp, and Kris Statlander is not right now.
Well, she's short, pale, and like the funny thing is like I watch her every week, and I've been watching her for 5 years. And she is like, she's always been presented as like
giant,
the biggest woman in AEW. Yes. She's powerful, strong, blah, blah, blah. I met her I've mentioned this, I think, on the show before. I met her in Vegas. She's small.
It doesn't matter. This match should have never happened. This match should have never happened.
Well, no, I wouldn't say it should have never happened, but it should have happened now.
I mean, I meant this week.
Yeah.
For this week, it never, because the first time they lock up should be, the crowd's on their feet anticipating this, here comes someone who's bigger than Kris Statlander, who has been built as our monster.
At least 3 stare downs, before they even
These two should have been killing local talent for the next 2 weeks on both shows.
I liked what they did on last week's Dynamite, right? Like where they both got wins, they confronted each other. Like, that's a good setup.
Was fine. Just keep confronting each other.
Again.
Just keep passing by, not saying anything, and giving each other dirty looks. And then
because where do you go now? Now
we go to Thunder Rosa and Penelope Ford in a tag match. And no offense to them, I like Penelope Ford. Thunder Rosa in this chair was the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever seen.
So it's going to be Thunder Rosa and Kris Statlander.
It's a tag match
against Megan Bayne and Penelope.
To build to the rematch.
Yeah. So that now Thunder can take the pin.
Yes.
And
Oh no, and then, Penelope Ford's probably taking the pin.
I will say I'm glad it wasn't Willow that saved her. Like, save that up. Yeah. Okay, you want to talk about you not knowing about Alex Windsor? I had no idea.
I knew that Megan Bayne was Joey Janela's girlfriend.
I did not know that.
I did not know that Thunder Rosa was Joey Janela's ex. Or no. Do I have that right? Oh, no, never mind. Penelope Ford.
What?
Yeah,
I thought Penelope Ford was married to Kip Sabian.
But dated Joey Janela at the beginning of the Dynamite era, remember?
Oh, okay. So Megan Bayne is his current girlfriend.
Yes.
That's weird. Okay. How's he bagged? Never mind.
Delirious and Mandy Leone date. That's how.
Yeah, because she got him coke. Or he got her coke, I should say. I know this firsthand.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess I probably shouldn't have said it on air.
No, you shouldn't have said it on air.
Nobody's watching.
God.
Anyways, this match was good.
For the lawyers out there, I had nothing to do with this, and Paul's in Canada, so good luck.
I was talking about Coca-Cola. I never said cocaine.
Good save.
I never said cocaine.
All right.
All right. So the finish came when Penelope Ford ran out and shoved Statlander off the rope. Bayne hit the F5 for the win. So that was good.
Should Garrett not clip that? Is what that?
See, allegedly, Anthony. It's all alleged. Just like, never mind. I'm not going to say it.
Look, when you're look, in all sorts of creative endeavors, if you're the person with power, you tend to date a little bit above your station. It's true in comedy. Jamie Masada has a list of women who became big comedians because he saw something in them when they came to the Laugh Factory. Whitney Cummings, Aisha Tyler.
I won't talk about Moose, but I'll mention this cocaine. All right. So we're getting a tag match down the road. And eventually this is all leading to Willow and Statlander reuniting at some point, I think. But I don't know how that fits in because they're both losers now. All right. Renee with Max Caster backstage. He's 0-2 in his open challenge. He got beat up by the hang person, Adam Page. And he said the reason that happened is because Adam Page was stalking him before the bell, so it wasn't fair. And he wants somebody to come into the ring and meet him head on, face to face, eye to eye. It's totally gonna be Gabe Kidd now. Matt's got me convinced.
No, it's gonna be the return of Anthony Bowens. He's gonna get a pop.
No, that's coming, but we want to build to that, dude. I want to see him get killed. When Anthony Bowens,
he's gonna get killed a lot more. Don't get me wrong, but yes.
Yeah. That and I mean, when it finally is Anthony Bowens, they're probably gonna have like a 50-50 match. It goes like
yes, they are, because that's how they do it. Oh, we need to have the 3.5 star classic.
So next up is a segment I remember very well. I don't have to look at the F4W notes. We got Ricochet coming down, another thing that wasn't advertised. And he comes out and he's just getting major heat and he's reveling in it. And finally, he just gives up trying to talk to the crowd. And he says, I'm going to talk to you, the people. And he stares in the camera and he says, they can't hear me, but I know you can. And he just goes on and on about how great he is. And he's just reveling in everything he's done. And it was brilliant. I don't need to recap what he said because I don't remember it.
I don't know if this was a great bad promo or a bad great promo, but it was the most entertaining. It's the most entertaining he's ever been. But he's definitely doing character work.
It was it was a great bad promo.
Yes, and Curryhead is correct. He is.
Oh my God!
Morris Day from Purple Rain. I mean I mean, we were told it was one thing, but by now it has morphed into Morris Day from Purple Rain, and it's weird because this is the most I've enjoyed a Ricochet promo, but I don't believe it's Ricochet. So it kind of goes back and forth, but it got its point across. He's a flaky heel. I dig it. It's fine.
Yeah. So he's I should point out he's wearing his robe the whole time, and he's interrupted by Prince Nana, who is it was Swerve's music, and the fans popped. They thought they were going to see Swerve, but it was Nana who comes out instead, and he is very serious. He's not
without Swerve's permission, by the way.
True. He pointed that out, and he said, well, he said he told Swerve to stay home tonight. And he basically says that robe that you're wearing, I've been in this business for 3 decades. That robe means a lot. It represents everything, honor, integrity, all this stuff. And he says, you have none of that. You didn't earn it. You shouldn't be wearing it. Give it back. And Ricochet just looks at him, and he's like, gets in his face, and he says, you want it back? Take it. And I'm right here.
I like this a lot.
Great.
There was no monologuing or anything. Nope. You want it? Take it. Boom.
He's a bully heel.
Yes.
Which is great.
Or he's a bully to Nana.
Yeah, because he's a bully. Like, that's what bullies do. They pick on people that are smaller than them.
Yes, exactly. No, I liked this. I did.
He wants the jacket more now because Nana wants him to give it back. Like, this is his motivation. He's the little dick, like waving his big dick, kind
all
of
thing. I know is that Nana better sell the hell out of it when Ricochet ruins this jacket.
Yeah. Or he's gonna like unleash hell on him to get it back. So either way, it's good. And
there are scissors in a jacket. It needs to be ruined.
I like what. Yeah, you're right about that actually. But I do like that there's a lot of people that probably don't understand the significance of this jacket because they didn't watch Ring of Honor.
No.
And they're doing a good job now of explaining it. So I do like that. Like, we don't need all the details, but we need to know some of them.
No, I get that it's important to him, but I'd like to. The whys are more important than the what for the most part. And I'd like to know why it's important to him.
Yeah, well, he did mention. He said something about it represents the people that have fought.
Yeah, I get
some of them that are no longer with us. And
say Jimmy Ray, for God's sakes.
Yeah, well, they probably don't want to because of how he died.
That's true.
Yeah.
So we're going full Vince, huh?
We don't want people Googling him.
No.
I guess he was sipping his coffee when he came out. I didn't.
You see the prices for that coffee?
Well, judging on the prices of MJF's pickles, I'm gonna guess they were way out of line.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah, I think MJF's pickles were $70 a jar.
Somebody we knew bought one.
Yep, Adine, if you're listening, and I'm still waiting for mine. I hope you still have your bottle of MJF.
Did he like the pickles?
I don't think I asked him.
Okay.
But
Adine, tell us if you liked the pickles. Were they spicy?
I hope he liked the pickles. I don't remember a second batch being made. So, hey, how was a little bit of the bubbly? Was that any good?
I never had any of it.
No, me neither. But they did 2 runs of it, so it must have been okay. I don't know why I just thought of that.
That's a weird aside, but let's continue.
Yeah. So, Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong in the main event, an international title contenders match. Yeah, that's what it was. I mean, it was a number 1 contenders match for the international title. That's all it was.
Okay.
Yeah. Jim Ross joined the team on commentary for this one, so that's good. This is the first time they pointed out that Orange Cassidy's been away. Sorry.
As he coughs again, gets his breath, now back on the
mic. So this was, I mean, close your eyes, picture an Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong match. That's all it was. Nothing special. It was a fine match, 3.5 stars. I don't even remember what happened.
Yeah, I don't either. It was indie-rific, and it just led to the angle.
Stun Dog Millionaire and Orange Punch.
Yep.
And Strong was pissed off at the end, so they're slowly turning heel, even though they never turned babyface to begin. Yeah.
Are we gonna do a breakup angle again? Like, why didn't
we're gonna break up the conglomeration? Is what we're gonna do.
No, but I'm saying, is this gonna be one of those things where it's like he screams at him? I'm not gonna do it in the mic, but it's
no.
And then why didn't you save me?
No.
Orange
the
Cassidy.
Undisputed Kingdom is gonna turn heel. They're gonna turn on Orange.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what's gonna happen. Like transferring heat. I'm sorry, I can't agree with you. I like Orange Cassidy. He says he didn't miss him.
I would have hyped it a bit more.
Oh, Rhea Ripley's watching the show. See that? Look at that. Cody, it was a fine match, 3.5 stars. Rhodes, bite your tongue. That's my favorite wrestler you're talking about. Okay, I'm done with Rhea. But I'm not going to block him. All right, so so they had the match. It was fine. Orange Cassidy won, so he gets the shot at the international title next week. And he spun to his feet to get. Oh no, that was okay. Sorry. So Tony joined him in the ring after the match. So if he wins, he's going to be the first 3-time champion. He'll be the greatest international champion in history. I think he probably already is. And then that brought on Don Callis, and he's not happy about that. And so we got to talk about this.
Mark Davis is a full-on heel now.
He comes out. He's dressed in black with Konosuke Takeshita.
Yes.
There is no trepidation about anything he's doing anymore.
We have dropped that story.
Yeah, which I don't know why we did it in the first place. You know what? If they were going to do it this way, they could have just had him churn on Kenny. Or Will at some point, and then just had him be bad. Like Don Callis got to him.
You have to build up some emotional resonance, though, for him being in a situation he doesn't like. And you don't do that after he has his first match establishing.
No, because after that Kenny match, you kind of got the sense that, okay, Mark is probably going to end up churning on the Callis, or the Callis is going to turn on him because he lost.
Yes, they're going to turn on him. They're going to beat him up, and then Kenny will come out for the save, and they'll hug, or it'll be a swerve, and Mark Davis.
And he'll be part of this trios team so that he can eat the pins against the Callis family. Yeah.
Yes.
But no, he's on the Callis family again. And so he's out there, and they're doing a 2-on-1 on Orange Cassidy. Cage and Archer were right there. So
it was
anyways,
a bad idea all the way around.
Yeah. So I was wondering who's going to make the save, because I mean, we just had Roddy out there. Kyle didn't make the save. I hope that's part of the story. That's another reason why I think they're turning heel, because they were just there and they didn't make the save for Orange. So it's they're heels.
I don't think all three of them are going to be turned heel. I think there's going to be some convoluted thing where two of them turn on the third, and we're just going to we're just going to do this for eternity because it sucks.
Then why didn't they save Orange?
Well, because
they were literally right there.
Because we have the Kyle Orange Cassidy conglomeration connection, don't we?
No, they're turning. But I mean, I thought it might be Will, but I don't think Will was there. But it turns out it's Kenny. So Kenny comes out and makes a save. And the funny thing is I don't know why he cares about this, because theoretically he's getting the winner next week. So what does he care if these two are beating each other? But I guess he's a good guy.
His sense of honor has forced him to come out and try and take on insurmountable odds.
So he makes a save, but then Davis ended up getting him from behind, sunk in a sleeper. And he's vicious. He's trying to kill Kenny. Like, there's no, that whole thing about being conflicted is gone. And then Orange tried to make the save. Takeshita went for Rage and Fire. Cassidy hit a stun dog. Omega hit a V-trigger. Cassidy hit an Orange punch. The heels bail. Omega and Cassidy stood tall, and they pointed out, and this was key actually, because Kenny's got the belt, and he's staring at Takeshita in the aisle. Meanwhile, Orange is behind him. And the idea is he's completely looking past Orange Cassidy. Like he's not even entertaining the thought that Orange Cassidy might beat Takeshita next week. Like his opponent at the pay-per-view is going to be Takeshita. So I thought that was a little something, and maybe he'll play into something down the road. Maybe Orange will turn. I don't know. That would be dumb. But yeah. So, oh yeah, did Mark Miro? Of course, yeah. That was literally his gimmick for years. Marvelous Mark Miro, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Right before he left. Marvelous Mark Davis. Did you say that, Jeff?
No. They said.
They got Marvelous Mark Davis. Okay.
Yes.
I just call him Mark Davis. So
the big one and the thin one from Aussie Open. That's what the Proto Star and the
No Star.
Oh, wow.
I mean, really.
You like to talk about people's cocaine habits too? I mean,
there are people in our Discord that are clamoring for the idea of Aussie Open reuniting. Like,
not now.
God bless you, but no.
Let the hot hand run solo for a while. What are you doing? And then
if we had Discord in 2005, people would have been begging for Randy Orton to reunite with Hardcore Holly. So you know what I mean? Like, or
what did you ask me?
I don't know.
I forgot what you asked me about just now.
I don't know.
What did he ask me about, chat?
About what'd you think of this angle?
Oh, it was
stupid, right?
Yeah, it is stupid. And it's just to get Mark Davis, we're gonna have a banger match, he's gonna eat a pin. Great. Yeah. There's no real heat to it. That's the thing to me. It's just
I will say, okay, my opinion on this Dynamite is it wasn't as good as last week, but it's better than like a month ago. So I think that's progress.
I don't know. I mean,
the crowd was hot.
The crowd was hot. There was good wrestling.
Yeah, good. Nothing great. Nothing great.
No, I liked the hardcore match. I did. I liked the street fight. To open the show where the talking made no sense, just
this
threw me
very
into
much
such a bad mood.
This very much felt like one of those shows where, like they don't have anybody available, so everything's got to get stretched. You know what I mean? Like,
no, this felt like we're going to give you as much time as you want for your moment. And the theater kids came out to play.
You know what the good thing about that is? Everything got time to breathe. As opposed to sometimes when they throw in 8 million things on
That's true. I think your opinion of this Dynamite depends on whether you liked that first segment or not. I do.
Fair enough.
And
yeah.
As a complete show, I think I liked the street fight. I liked the Ricochet Nana angle quite a bit.
Yeah.
Megan Bayne suplexing Kris was fantastic. Should have never happened on this show because now the aura's dead in a way.
I will go back to
the one that she belly to backed from the outside of the ring into the ring was friggin' great. It really was. And they needed to say that for the pay-per-view. That's what they needed to do.
I will go to fan and reporter reactions. The February 19th episode of AEW Dynamite has been met with positive reactions from both fans and wrestling journalists. MJF and Hangman confrontation was particularly praised for its intensity and the depth it added to their rivalry. The street fight between Powerhouse Hobbs and Big Bill was lauded for its brutality and the physical storytelling that captivated the audience. Additionally, the surprise appearance by Adam Copeland was highlighted as a significant moment that injected new energy into ongoing storylines. Okay, that's bullshit. Overall, the episode was commended for his blend of in-ring action and storyline progression, effectively building anticipation for the upcoming Revolution pay-per-view.
You can follow me on X at CrapGame13. I do a show called Shake Them Ropes on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. We'll come out later this week with ice cold thoughts on NXT Vengeance and Grand Slam. Plus, Chris will have whatever his his Vader Club pick is, I forgot where he's looking this week. I think he's going to try and get another either Savage or DDP thing because he feels he gave him short shrift. And I do the Dynamite show sometimes, although Paul's having me think about quitting right now. So, Paul, your plugs.
In summary, the February 19th, 2025 episode of AEW Dynamite delivered a compelling mix of matches and segments that resonated with fans and critics. The show's ability to advance storylines, showcase wrestling talent, and surprise the audience underscores AEW's commitment to providing dynamic and engaging professional wrestling content. This has been the Dynamite Show. I'm Paul Fontaine. That's Jeff Hawkins. See you next week.
More cocaine rumors next week.
Vicky Saints